just want to remind everyone that if you go here into the help system in the upper right-hand corner of your site, you can actually go in here and look at past webinars. So if you go down here in help under webinars, past webinars, we will be uploading the latest webinar here in a couple of days once we're finished with the webinar and get it uploaded. Keep in mind that Karen, another consultant here at Mirabel, is answering questions live during the webinar today. Everyone is in listen-only mode, and given time and see how things go, I'll consider opening up the phones individually one at a time to ask questions pertinent to Digital Studio and some of the newer releases that we are going over today. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, in case I don't have an opportunity to do so, I'll ask that all of you at least ask your questions in the chat area over in the GoToWebinar interface. So keep in mind that if you're new to Digital Studio, new to Magazine or Newspaper Manager, for you to allow someone access to the to Digital Studio in the Employee Editor, there is an option in the Employee Editor that you must enable to access to Digital Studio. So in the Employee Editor, edit any one of your existing employees, and so that when you come down here, and my screen is refreshing, so when you come down to the section over here, Digital Studio User, you want to make sure that they're set to yes. Otherwise, they will not be able to log into Digital Studio by going to Production, Mirabel's Digital Studio Login. Now, all other enabled users of your site, regardless if they have Digital Studio access or not, can always see the flat plan over here in the Quick Links area in the lower left-hand side by simply clicking the Digital Studio flat plan, and they will have a read-only view of that flat plan. So today, I'm going to be primarily focusing on the newest enhancements into Digital Studio for 2016. They've been released over the last several months, and today I think is an excellent opportunity just to review some of these enhancements. One of the first things you're going to notice that that one of our very valued clients, and everyone is completely valued, and we appreciate your service and your business, but they were like, you know, at times it's kind of hard to see, or maybe I don't want this list for selected issues, past issues, to be sorted by descending. Maybe, you know, we work on, I'm a designer and I work on particular zones, so I'd like to be able to sort the list by product or by issue or by work done. So what we did is we allowed, we added the ability to sort these various column headers, and you may not have noticed this, but and some of you may have noticed it, but you could sort these columns, worked on, not worked on, and it kind of shows you over here the flipper sorting ascending or descending. I typically like to see what I last worked on at the top of the list, so that's what we're going to have there. Now, one other thing that you may have also already noticed is that if your product name is longer than what this field width over here, there was a point where it was kind of hard to see what these products were, and we had no way of seeing it. So another nice feature that was added during the same update is if you hover over any one of the products, it will, regardless if any of the product name is truncated on the right side here, when you hover over it, a little pop-up is going to come up with the product name, the issue name, and just the product and issue names. You're going to have a little pop-up that shows that full value, even though some of this has been truncated on the right-hand side there. So keep in mind that you can now see things that were previously hidden by a text field that was not quite wide enough to show us what we wanted to see. All right. Some other items. Let's go ahead into our Organic Delights December 2012 issue. That's my product and issue that I like to always go back to and play around with. So let's come in here. Let me actually change that. Let me get my go-to meeting out of the way here. And I'm going to refresh my page here. All right, log back in, select the Organic Delights 2012. And so our selected product and issue is here in the upper right-hand corner. Of course, if you want to change and work on a different product or issue, here they go. And we've got a completed flat plan here. Some pages are missing. Maybe it's incomplete. One of my favorite features wasn't necessarily added this year, but I do want to point it out because it's so very helpful. If you're in the habit of fully mapping out all editorial placement as well as all ad placement, we actually give you, up here in the little I, we give you the issue statistics. We do all the calculations for you. In this issue, there are 39 pages. The ad to editorial ratio is 40% right now. 13 ad pages, 20 editorial pages. We even give you a total revenue and breaking it down by cash and barter if you want to see it. We give you the average page rate. I believe we'll also show you non-revenue pages. We have 6 pages, total ad sizes totaling 6 pages that are $0 ads. Maybe they're make good ads or house ads or things like that. So the issue, or the entire issue statistics is very important. Now, if you use the folio, break down the folio mechanisms to group your pages, and if you use them by section, so this is our entire lifestyle section, pages, and this is, again, theoretical and for training, but pages 1 through 18 is our lifestyle section. Well, maybe as a manager or publisher, I'd like to know, all right, well, how much money did my special section bring in? If your flat planning team goes through and sets these up by section, look at the section statistics here. Right now, we have the issues, or the section statistics for the lifestyle section, ad to editorial ratio, barter pages, average page rate, etc. The same kind of statistics simply by doing what you're doing anyway. You're using the tool anyway to place all of the ads. You've got a full page ad. Simply by you dragging and dropping that ad on a page, that ad has what the industry calls metadata. So there's information about this insertion order. What was the value? Was it cash? Was it barter? Things like that. So by dropping it on the page, we include all the metadata in the analytics here for that. So just want to remind you, it's a very, very powerful type thing there, giving you the analytics here. Now, notice this is a premium position ad. This takes us to our next enhancement that we are highlighting for 2016. If you go to the settings, and if you recall where we go to actually set the flat plan coloration, we've now added the option for you to assign a specific premium placement ad color. So if I know all my premiums are baby blue and I'm looking at my flat plan and I see a baby blue item right in the middle, this is going to kind of cause me to question the placement of this ad. Did I do this properly? Is this right? And if I click the little pop-up eye up here, I'm going to see, oh, this is supposed to be on front cover. Uh-oh, so I made a mistake. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it off of the flat plan, puts it back over here for the ads to be placed, go back to my front cover, and kick off anybody that might be on the front cover, because this ad right here is supposed to be on the front cover. And if you'll notice, this is a placeholder ad. So, all right, placeholder's done. The ad is in. Here we go. Full page contract was signed. When that contract is signed and converted from a proposal to a contract, that's when this line item appears here. So this guy is supposed to be on the front page. So we're going to drag and drop it on the front cover for the ad. And there you go. Now, once you start dragging and dropping all of your ads, don't forget, your goal is to place every contract in this issue on the flat plan. Otherwise, the next person in line of production is your graphic design artist who takes the flat plan and physically puts the pages together. And if you forget to put that half-page ad on a page, then they're not going to build it, and your advertiser is going to accidentally be left out of the issue. And we definitely don't want to do that, because then we have to do a make-good ad or give somebody a refund or something like that. So we definitely don't want to do that. Now, if you also remember, a fairly new feature was this pop-up information that we show you from the insertion order and from production notes or ad notes at the time of order entry, production notes happening through the job jacket. We're going to put those at your fingertips as we grab, drag, and drop that ad on a page, so that when you hover, you've got placement information, you know right where to put it on the flat plan. Another feature, let's get back over to the coloration, because I wanted to show another color. And this is pretty new, but not 2016, but this is certainly worth reminding you of. Once you place an ad on the flat plan, on a page, and I mean, you guys know that the advertisers never do this. They never change their mind. They never change their ad size. They never cancel the October issue because they want to push it out to the December issue. Well, you know what? Your sales reps are managing that. And your sales rep is going to go in the system in the magazine manager side, and they're potentially going to cancel this contract, delete the contract if it's before the issue is closed or before they're invoiced. And if they cancel or delete that contract and you've already placed it on the flat plan, we're going to turn it, in this case, bright red, so that the bright red item shows that, uh-oh, we have a problem. There was a contract here mapped before, but now the sales process has deleted it, and this is my automatic notification looking at my flat plan knowing I've got to take care of this page. Now, we're going to leave that half-page insertion on, in this example, page 3 when it's deleted, but we're going to turn it red so you know that page needs your attention. You would simply delete the deleted insertion order and then replace it with something else. Now, you can pick a different color when the ad size is changed. So in this case, the client wanted to run a half-page horizontal, but maybe going through the production process, they decided they'd rather have a half-page vertical. So if the ad size changes to an orientation or a totally different ad size, that changed ad size after the placement on the flat plan, in this case, is going to turn bright yellow. Again, bright red, bright yellow, offering you caution or warning that things have to be handled on the flat plan, all right? So keep that in mind, that coloration is going to be really helpful in just getting a visual on that flat plan and taking a look and seeing what's going on. Now, when you print a flat plan, and this is kind of a new change, but when you print the flat plan, you can now show the job jacket ad ID number that's assigned over here. Let's go into our ad manager, because this is where I go to track where my ads have arrived, what ads require design, what ads that are done. I'm going to do this in my ad manager, and the ad manager also offers me the opportunity to blast out ad material reminders to the people who we have not received the ad materials yet for. So here's my same product here in issue, Organic Delights 2012, December, and I want to show all on one page, and I'm going to show all statuses, all ads for this first part. Because Digital Studio and Magazine Manager and all of our Mirabel products, including Marketing Manager and Newspaper Manager, all of these products are what we consider enterprise-level products. And for the guy on the street, I used to hear that before I went through my part of stuff in the world, and I didn't know what enterprise, what does that mean? But basically enterprise means is that all of these various subsystems all tap into and tie into a common single data source in the back end. So if you're my client, you've heard me say this 1,000 times to you, but the reality is the truth. As long as every department, every step of the sales and production process uses the tools that you guys are paying for and using, as long as you guys use these tools accurately, you create transparency and you create efficiency in the overall operational workflow. You dragging and dropping these contracts on the pages in Digital Studio actually populate these page numbers on the ad manager, on the sales run sheet, on the production run sheet. So wouldn't it be excellent if there came a day when your sales rep calls on the phone and says, hey, remember 4 years ago our advertiser was on, what page were they on? Well, if you're using your tools provided that you guys are paying for to do your part of the process, flat planning in here, then you're automatically capturing that page number to be exposed to sales reps on a self-service run sheet where they can just run that run sheet, look at the page number, and if you're also uploading and placing those high-res PDF files, you also put at their fingertips a whole JPEG of the page, a high-res JPEG of that page, where they can also click on that thumbnail, here's a JPEG, right-click, save the image, and send out to their advertiser not only what page they were on, but hey, advertiser, I can also give you that full page, give you a PDF of the page, so you can see your ad material in that issue as well. How nice is that for you to have to quit fulfilling things that are now, again, as long as everyone's using the tools the way they're intended, everything's exposed, it's all self-service, you're out of the business of providing that information to them. So just keep that in mind over there. Now, in the we're going with this is that in the job jacket and in the ad manager, all of these ads have a unique ad ID. And I know a lot of our clients use these ad IDs for internal tracking and maybe even sharing common art numbers for common ads that are placing in 2 or 3 or 4 different zones or different versions of the papers or magazines. You can now expose this ad number on the printed, currently it's only on printed PDFs using the 2, 4, and 1 page count. So if I want to get 4 pages per printed page and I'm going to do a continuous print of this flat plan, I'm going to also opt to show the job jacket ad ID number, that internal ad ID number. Now, when you print this out, you're going to see on the flat plan when this is printed, and we always print to a PDF so that we can save some paper and you can have the electronic version to email around or actually print that PDF to your printer. But this printed version has now up here as a downloaded printed version. And I'm going to upload that, and take a look in the lower corner right here. There's that ad ID number. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on that so you can see it, all righty? So there's that ad ID number that ties that ad directly back to that ad on the ad manager. So now you can see the ad ID numbers here on the printed folio, but right now it's only available in the 4 pages per printed page view here, okay? So here's a printed page, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're hoping to get 8 on here. Right now our development team is looking at what it will take to really get that on 8 pages. But for right now, if you printed 4 pages, 4 of your flat plan mapped out pages per printed page, you'll also have the opportunity to print that ad ID right there in the corner. Now be careful once we start getting into these super teeny tiny ad sizes, like an 1/8 of a page or a 1/16 of a page, we're going to be running out of room, and so it's going to get real jumbled up in there. Page, ad size, advertiser, and then this ad ID. But just know now that is another thing that has been released for us, is the ability to print the ad ID on the flat plan. Where it's also important to see that ID for a lot of our clients is on the actual reports. So if we go back to the Analyze tab on the reports here, we've now also added that ad ID to the placeholders by page report as well as the ad index report. So if you do out your whole flat plan and you want an ad index report, maybe you want to export this and put this as a page in the printed magazine so that you can have your advertisers index, you know, this right here gives it to you. Plus it also gives you that ad ID. See that? So page, if we want to sort this thing by page number, then from the front to the back of the book, we have VIA Risk Associates on the first page, ad editorials, ad editorials. This is a great little report here you guys can run. We're doing 25 items per page. Let's do 1,000. Let's get everything on 1 page so we can just scroll up and down that page and see everything here, up to the 34 pages in our book. And hey, if you want to export to Excel, you can export this report to Excel and do other wonderful things with that based on what Excel provides. Now, including that ad ID on the ad editorial index report, you're also going to see it on the placeholders by page report. You'll also see this ad ID there. This was recently added in here based on feedback from our very valued clients out in our user community. All right. The other project that we have that's on my list of items that were implemented was the quick pages. I have discrepant experience versus what I think. Basically, let's cover quick pages. Let me tell you what's going on with quick pages, and let's just show what. So let's say that, okay, you're a client that you're doing your flat planning somewhere else, or you know, because you've never seen this, you can't imagine. Wow, I can't believe that. You know, now if I just do what I normally do every day, you know, lay out my flat plan, lay out my book, that based on my experience over there, if my sales reps come in here and run a run sheet, you know, they can get those page numbers and those thumbnails of the pages for every issue, every product that we ever put out. They don't have to call us anymore, you know, rejoice, rejoice. That's an excellent day. Well, you may not be flat planning yet. Maybe you need a way just to publish a digital edition, all right? So what you could do is you could actually use this concept we call quick pages. And what quick pages is going to allow you to do is in one simple step, and I'm going to just change this, and I'm going to go to an issue because this is my product, my Organic Delights product that I use for demonstration purposes. But what you can do, I'm going to walk you through the first few steps, but then I'm going to not do it because, I mean, or no, I can do it. I'll just do a few pages. But let's say I have a 34-page book. It's my, let's see, it's my what issue? I think I just selected my May issue. All right. Folios created, no. I don't use flat plan. I just want to upload my May issue because I want to pop out a quick digital edition. Or, you know, I want to make these through the flat planning and, you know, mapping the insertions and uploading the pages, whatever. I just want to get my pages loaded in here, 34 pages, and get it ready to publish a digital edition. The quick pages are going to really help you do that. So first of all, when I go to my issue that I'm working on, there are no folios. Do I want to create any? Nope, I don't want to create folios. I just simply want to go to Tools. I want to go to Quick Pages. And in Quick Pages, I'm going to browse to my folder that's got all of my finished pages. And this is my latest issue folder. And I'm going to grab the first 34 pages. I'm going to start with one. Even though I've got a front cover folio, never mind. I'm going to go to page 32 because I've got my covers there. So I'm going to go right down to page 32, and I'm going to grab a few pages. Actually, let's say this is only a 20-page magazine, because it does take a little time, not a lot of time, but you'll see, it takes a little bit of time to upload my quick pages. Here they all are, ready to be uploaded, 20 pages, and I'm going to upload my pages, and that's all I'm going to do, because what happens now is our system takes those pages out of your folder, uploads those PDFs to our server, and it converts them to JPEGs, because the high-res JPEGs, those are compressed digital file formats that look really, really good on the computer screen for digital editions, but they're not very large in file size. So already, we're already down to, we're getting down to the end. You see how quick this is going? It's uploading these pages, converting these pages, and all this is happening on our server. All I did was say quick pages, point to my folder, select my files, press a button, there it goes, it's off and running. All right? And it's going to be done here in just a second. So the files have been successfully uploaded to my edition. And what Quick Pages is going to do is it's going to create a folio for me right here, 22 pages. Here they are. It created that folio. And if let me see if I've got some assets in here. If I go to my content layer, okay, it's not quite there yet, but these are uploaded files. And the system's going to come in here once these things are finished converting. It's also going to put these on the plan, and you'll notice they're going to start popping up right here. Look at it. There they go. I'm not doing anything. All I did was go to Quick Pages and point to a folder, select all of my pages that are needed for this upload, and it's placing them in, and it's creating my 22 pages without me doing that. Look at that. It's just feeding in gorgeous. Here's my cover. Here's my page 2 and 3. We're going to take it to the next level once these are all placed, and we're going to say, this is really cool, really easy. Man, if I could only put this out as a digital edition, this would be everything I need. Well, once these pages come in and get placed in the flat plan, my last step is simply going to be to preview. This preview tab right here takes us to a preview, and I can take a look and see what my digital edition might look like, page by page. Go in here and doing this, all right? So the reason I bring this topic up, because once I confirm this, and if it's not in place, it will be in place because it's been approved for approval. If you also use, the way the Quick Pages used to work, if you use the flat planning tool to lay out the flat plan and then you did Quick Pages, the way Quick Pages used to work is regardless of the folios that were here, it would add a whole new set of folio, a whole new set of pages, and put those pages at the end of the flat plan when in fact, we want them to overlap our flat plan and be on the pages that we've mapped. So there is an approved, and I just need to confirm that it will actually now start placing, instead of in a new folio, in a new section, additionally to the one you've already mapped out, it will actually place the pages on top of your current map where they belong to begin with, okay? So that's the one thing. Reach out to your to your software consultant here in the next day or two once we get this confirmed. The reason I'm suspecting it is because I'm on one of our test sites, and this may not have been updated with that solution. So we're going to confirm it's there, and if it's not there, we'll give you a timeline when to expect quick pages to overflow to an existing flat plan. Okay. Now, one of the reasons I brought this up is because a new feature, and this is kind of more of I won't say an annoyance, if you will, but before, when we used to drag things and put them on the clipboard, let's expand out my clipboard. Here we go. When we used to drag things and put them on the clipboard here, there was really no way to get things off the clipboard without dragging them back onto a page and then going to clear the asset from the page. And the things you can put on the clipboard are these assets or high-resolution PDF files or the actual editorial or ad placement items in the flat plan. But now we've added the ability for you simply just to delete this asset from the clipboard, which does not require you to put it back on here and then get rid of it from here. When you delete the asset from the clipboard, it puts it back in the assets bucket where it came from in order to replace it somewhere else later. So that's another feature that came to us from one of our valuable clients. We do appreciate your input. All right. And that is the newest and latest features and releases that we have going on. I'm going to look for a show of hands at this point. I would like to take some questions based on what we've covered today or anything that might be relevant to Digital Studio that maybe you want to ask. If you look at your, and let me make sure the options are turned on. All right, I've enabled you the ability to raise your hand now, so if you have a question, I'm going to skim the list of our participants. Please, and again, I will not entertain a question that does not have to do with Digital Studio or mapping, flat planning, the concept of digital tear sheets, things like that. Keep your questions in that arena, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. I'm looking for anybody having a raised hand. Nobody has a raised hand yet. All right, I've got Sonal. I'm going to go ahead and unraise. I'm unmuting you. Yes, you have a question?
Yes, the question I had was you showed about the different type of ads, and there was something which says non-revenue pages. Would you be able to tell us how to add those?
Well, the non-revenue pages are defined as insertions with a $0. So in Magazine Manager, when the sales rep puts in that ad, they may discount it down to a $0 ad. That's what we're calling ad revenue page or non-revenue pages. Now that ad revenue page could be put on a house account company record if you have a house account over set up in your Magazine Manager side, but a zero or non-revenue ad page is simply an ad with the $0 assigned to the net value of that ad.
Okay, so probably they all can be put up in the house account.
That's right. For your ads, you put in a house account, or maybe it might be a make good ad that you messed up on somebody's ad before, or you're trying to put added value to something, so you give them a free quarter-page ad in the book. You know, that quarter-page $0 ad is considered and is counted towards that non-revenue ad pages. Basically, it shows you, how many pages in our whole 160-page book, how many effective ad pages are running where we're not getting any revenue for whatever reason. Right? Okay?
Okay.
That's what that's going to be all about. All right. Thank you for your question.
Sure.
Muted.
All right. Anybody else have a question? Looking for a hand still? I didn't talk much to the newspaper family. I do see we have a few newspaper participants on here. The Digital Studio will work most ideally for the newspaper clients if you have modular ad sizes. When you have modular ad sizes, and by that I mean quarter-page ad, half-page ad, full-page ad versus column and inch ads, the Digital Studio is not set up, and nor will it be set up to really accommodate the full set of column and inches, that type of business. This is really set up for modular ad sizes, and we do take the optional ad sizes down to, I think, 1/40th of a page. So once you get to mapping that level, just get everybody who's got maybe the business card directories or different things, and then maybe 1/40th ads. Keep in mind, Digital Studio is intended for ad sizes that are modular ad sizes versus column inch ad sizes. Okay. All right. Anybody else have a question specifically pertaining to the latest releases, different functionality or things in Digital Studio that you might want to ask about? We have a little bit of time. All right. Well, let me just point out, I did mention in passing the concept of digital tear sheets. So there are a couple of ifs, but in effect, we do provide you the ability to send out quote-unquote digital tear sheets. A couple of things have to happen. Now let's go back to, we have a hand raised. Hang on a second here. Who's got the hand? Where's the hand? There we go. Chris Greer, you're unmuted.
Hello?
Chris, you're on. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just actually sent it the question as well. Were you going to cover the digital edition reports today?
I can, absolutely. I would love to go over that. Sure, I will do, yes. Are there any questions specifically about those reports, or just kind of want to see what's available, what we have in place?
Well, I've been kind of playing with them. I'm trying to use this as a big part of my strategy for upcoming renewals to show what we're doing now with our digital editions and the reporting, the page view reporting capabilities and the quick reporting.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll review. I'll spend a few minutes on that for sure, Chris. Let me just talk about this concept of digital tear sheets, and then we'll cross right over into the reporting, the digital edition reporting, okay?
Yep.
All right. Thank you for your question. All right. So let's go back over to the December 2012 Organic Delights issue. So two things have to happen in order for you to, in essence, send out what I have many of my personal clients who are sending out quote-unquote digital tear sheets, and here's what you have to do. The first thing you have to do is you have to map the flat plan, okay? Got to get these advertisers on these page numbers so that we can capture the page numbers. Now, once you get those page numbers captured on the flat plan, because this is an enterprise, open architected, open data source type thing, and then these page numbers are also available, like I said before, in the sales run sheets and areas, and these page numbers are also available on your invoice template. That's the other key. All right, so we can now start showing the page number on the invoice template and mapping out the flat plan. We've got the page number. The other component, we need two components in order for the digital edition concept to work, is we've got to make sure and upload and place those PDF pages directly on the pages. So now if we look at the content and insertion hybrid view, and let's go ahead and zoom this in to something a little bit larger. So now we can take a look and see that in fact this advertiser, DIA Risk Associates, they're on page 3. So page 3 has this insertion, but page 3 also has that lady and address as the full page. So we now have the page number and the content on the page. That's all we need in order to, well, the last thing you need, absolutely, is you actually need to publish. You need to publish this as a digital edition. $1 per page keeps your digital edition up for a full year. So 35-page magazine, $35 to publish. It keeps you up for a whole year. And you actually wind up showing up here at mirabellsmagazinecentral.com. These are all of our publishers as of today who are publishing digital editions in Magazine Manager. Your issue is going to go right here as well. We have a lot of folks doing it. A lot of these folks are doing the digital tier sheets on their invoices as well. And here's how that's going to work. For you admins on the call, go to Site Setup, Website Setup, Links, and let's come down to your invoice template. So what you can do if you're invoicing, maybe you have 3 core magazines and 3 sets of tier sheets you kind of want to go with, what you can do here is at the bottom of the invoice template, you can actually put verbiage that says something like this, that says, for and it'll say, and I don't really have an example set up here, but it basically says, for your digital tear sheet, refer to the page number above. Here's the page number we're going to use on the line item. Refer to the page number above and click this link to see your digital edition. So that link that you're going to put there is actually the link given to you when you publish your digital edition here in Digital Studio. You're given this link. Administrators take this link, hyperlink this link at the bottom of the invoice template, driving them to this issue, and let's pretend this is the issue it drove them to, and I just randomly selected parents and kids. Thank you for volunteering here for us. And basically the page number on their invoice template, or the invoice on the page number, say they're on page 13. So they look above at page 13, they click the link, they're taken to here, they go to page 13, and lo and behold, there is their half-page ad, quarter-page ad, whatever. Therefore fulfilling the concept of fulfilling a digital version of the tear sheet for them. No more stuffing envelopes, no more licking and sticking stamps, no more paying, you know, a staff member or maybe hiring a particular staff member to fulfill all the invoices and stuff. If you think, wow, well, you know, $1 a page, that's not really that expensive. When you look at the market for digital editions, $1 per page is not that expensive, but if you think about what you're getting with $1 a page, you're saving on stamps, you're saving on paper, you're saving on ink in the printer, you're saving on personnel staff time that it takes to sit there and go hunt for the page, find the invoice, marry them together, fold them up, lick them, stick them, stamp them, and send them. That $1 a page is actually looking pretty attractive compared to that cost. All right? So keep that in mind. All of our software consultants, Karen and Mary Kate and Dennis and I, we all can help you fulfill that. If you want to fulfill the concept of your digital edition of your tear sheets, we'll be more than happy to help you guys do that. So that's how that solution will look and the concept of that. Now, back to the question of digital analytics, analytic reporting. Okay, fine, Mark. We're going to try you guys out for a couple of months. We're going to start publishing our digital editions. For that $1, what ought we get? Well, again, first of all, you get your magazine here, Magazine Central. You get everybody else's promotional efforts sending their readers to this one website where your title happens to be too, so you get benefit from other people's expenditures promoting their digital editions because they're going to show up here too. And people can search by category, search by publisher, search by product name. Okay, so you get your own benefit of your own promotions as well as everybody else's. You get this transparency on the run sheet here. If you want to expose and make the self-service to your reps, they can look up their own run sheet, find what page number in a historic edition of one of your magazines. They've got the self-service. Click on, send the email ad page. Again, now I'm going to be very clear. This is not their quarter-page ad they're sending. They have the ability to send the full page to them that the client was on, okay? So they're going to send the full page on which their ad ran. Still, it's much better than taking an hour or bugging somebody in production to go find that ad material. So you're going to get that. You're going to get the ability to possibly create new revenue. You've got a new revenue stream when you are able to publish your digital editions with us and say, hey, listen, if you guys upgrade to a full-page ad, we're going to give you a free 10-second video that we'll put in for free in our digital edition for you and include multimedia in the digital edition and either charge for it or have it added value and close that really big sale because they're getting 10 seconds of video on the digital edition. Also, we're going to give you these analytics in the background. If you go to Analyze Digital Edition Reports, we have some fantastic reports that show you from what device, from what browser are readers reading. If you're setting up hyperlinks and people want to do, let's say that I'm reading this magazine, Parents and Kids magazine, and I've got a lot of parents and kids friends on Facebook, let's say. So if I go in here and I'm reading this article or I see this ad and I'm like, you know what, this is really cool. I want to share all of this with my friends on Facebook. I can actually clip and share or share the whole page. All right, this is a great Lego thing. My Lego buddies would love this. I can actually come in here and I can clip and share a part of this page as a reader. I'm creating, first of all, I'm creating digital readership analytics. I'm pinging in page views because I'm viewing these pages for this client. But up here, social media shares, I can take this clip and share, and I can share it via Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, LinkedIn. I can email it around. I can do whatever I want to with it, share it out. And for all these social media shares and all these clicks, let's say you've got hyperlinked websites. Maybe you've got hyperlinked email addresses. Anytime anybody interacts in any way with this digital edition, we are tracking them in Google Analytics, and we're presenting them to you in these various reports. Here's an events report. I'm going to run this events report just so we can get a lot of data on here, because I'm looking at a test edition here. I just want to return a whole bunch of data. But of course, you're going to look at it by product, year, and issue so that you can specifically target a particular issue. But right here, I've got my event actions, hotspot clicks, all right, for this product and this issue. Got some Facebook shares. You know, I can go back to my advertiser and say, hey, you know, listen, we have had, you know, 100 Facebook shares or so many web clips, email shares, Android clip to Pinterest. We give you all of these on Android devices in the web, on the iPads. We give you all of these things here in the analytics. So you can go back and not, as a sales rep, not just say, you know, well, you know, we published 30,000 issues and through extrapolation and mathematics, we assume that you've got this many eyeballs on your product, print product. Get rid of all that. You're on digital editions. We've got analytics. We've got tracking, right? So we provide, with that $1 per page, we also provide you all these digital edition analytics that you can go back and further you know, use those business intelligence to increase sales, give your advertisers real hardcore numbers based on readership and interactivity. Now, this is an event. There's also a published content. You've got a page. Oh, I like this one. Page views by device. Who's looking at it, and what are they looking at it on? Okay, you can read business journals and publications and make inferences about your demographics and readers. If you've got a heavier Android community versus an iPhone community, there's all kinds of market analysis and studies done based on, you know, just those device or operating system type users. You can you know, ascertain a lot of information just by the readership. And here we're going to give this to you. We're going to give you all the products and issues that are digital editions, or you can filter by a particular product here and issue. But we're going to give you app views. If somebody downloaded the Mirabelle's Magazine Central app and looked at your app on an iPad or on an Android tablet device, we're going to give you those analytics and roll those numbers up. If folks who are looking at your digital edition on the web, all right, HTML5 edition, then on the web, are they looking at it on a tablet, on a non-tablet? Non-tablet generally is your desktop laptop, but if they're looking at the web page on an iPad or Android, you know, we give you all these analytics for free there. And I think I clicked something twice or clicked too fast, because every once in a while you guys see this, everybody's seen it at least once, where there's a little disconnect, and I'm being impatient. It's going, wait, we're working on this. Hang on a second. And we may have so many analytics now on all of our products on our training site that I don't think so. Let me try to rerun this. This normally doesn't do that. Let's try that again. Digital analytics report. Maybe I want to look at everything for the history of. I'm gonna pare it down a little bit and look at just my organic delights. If I've got, I like to use everything because I like to get a lot of data on there. And you guys promote your digital editions really well, and you generate a ton of traffic to your digital editions, I'm sure. So you're going to have a lot of live data, really good data there. And again, I've got my hand icon on there, so if anybody else has questions, feel free to raise your hand. Okay. Let me get everything from 1/1/2016 to 12/31/2016. Actually, I'm going to include last year. You know, show me on my events for this date range, and then it's going to pull back all the products for the events in this date range. All right. So here's that one. Okay, travel photography, 179 total views. 57 were on iPads, none on Androids, non-tablets, etc. So you get some page views by device reports. visits by device, advertiser analysis reports for the digital editions. We give you a lot of analytics, and our analytical team is constantly beefing up these digital edition reports, and we're always adding new reports in here all the time. So just keep in mind, you know, we're continuing to make this product better and better and better if you want to come and publish your digital editions with us. All right. What follow-up questions? Any other questions we have as far as anything Digital Studio, digital tear sheets, sharing page numbers? Let me point out one thing though. I will point out one thing, that by default on your sales run sheet, this page number column is not visible. And you might be thinking, well, we've been planning for 3 years now, 5 years, 10 years, and we don't see our page numbers. So what you'll have to do on the sales run sheet, also on your production run sheet, if you hover over any one of these little column headers, click the drop down, you're going to see columns, and this is where you can turn on and off various columns. Turn on that page number column, now you see the page number column, but you must also use the options button at the bottom to save column setup. Otherwise, the next time you run this run sheet, you don't see those columns there. So this is done user by user. It's not done site-wide. So go to your sales reps and make sure, guys, make sure you're showing your page number. Show them how to do it. If you need help and want one of the consultants to come into one of your weekly or monthly sales meetings, you know, let's have a magazine manager, newspaper manager, digital studio boot camp kind of thing. You could take 15, 20 minutes of that and just go over some really great latest, greatest features here in the system.